Into match number 2 we go, and it's last chance saloon, you would think, for Scotland. They've got to get something out of this game. Standing in the way is my dark horse, Switzerland. Who's going to get them on top? We're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks. Bubbles giving another match preview. Looking forward to Scotland's match up against Switzerland over in Group A. And we'll get to that in a second. If you do where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for Euro 2024 is right here under one roof. Of course, Scotland licking their wounds somewhat after that opening day defeat against the Germans. The Swiss coming into this very, very Swiss indeed with that big victory over Hungary, of course, who, of course, put themselves in the driving seat for that second spot. We'll take a little look in just a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. And again, if you do, smash your subscribe. Look for 50 likes on the video. Can we get it? That's down to you. So let's get into it and have a look at the match then. It does take place this coming Wednesday on the 19th of June. Of course, Scotland qualified as Group A runners-up. That's right, tasty group it was. 15th of October 2023. They've been here 3 times in the past, and they've got Steve Clarke as the governor right here, right now. Scott McTominay, the star man, we did see pretty much any of him at the game against Germany. This should be a different story. Of course, they are in Group A, where at the start of the tournament, they were 8-1 to win the group. They were 11-8 on to qualify, with odds of 80-1 to win the whole thing. I can tell you right here, right now, breaking news, Scotland's odds are now down to 200-1 after that poor performance. My prediction at the start of the tournament was a last 16 berth. That's right, but they're coming to this with a bit of a falling lesson from the Germans. 5-1 loss there. They take on the Swiss now on match number 2 for them, and then they'll complete the trio against Hungary on June the 23rd. Of course, 3 points, you might get yourself in there, but these are the big ones. They've always been the big ones for Scotland. So let's take a look at the key personnel that hope to get a result against them. Of course, Angus Gunn was between the sticks. We will lose Ryan Porteous for this game for suspension following his red card, so it may see a start for Grant Hanley in this game. And I have gone with a different change of lineup here from these personnel from that first game, and this is my starting 11 right here, right now. We're coming at you with this, of course. It's back 4 today. We're going to go Gunn, Tierney on the left, McKenna, Hanley, and Ralston. Then we got a midfield trio: McTominay, McGinn, and Gilmore. Robbo on the left, out wide. Forrest on the other side, and Che Adams down the middle. That is my lineup. Do you think it will be? I do expect a little bit of change from formation, not so conservative, because they need to win this game. And standing in the way will be the Swiss. Let's take a look at that Swiss. Of course, qualified as Group I runners-up. They secured their spot on the 18th of November 2023. They've been here 5 times in the past. They are managed by Murat Yakin. The star man for me is Granit Xhaka, of course. Fantastic domestic season with Leverkusen. And, of course, trying to convert that success here with the Swiss. Group A, of course, 11-2 at the start of the tournament to win the group. 2-1 on to qualify as well, with odds of 66-1 to go the distance. Those odds have shrunk now down to 50-1. And, of course, my expectation was a last 16 exit for the Swiss, but we'll see about that. Again, start as fantastic performance for them against Hungary in that game that they realistically must not lose. They picked up the 3 points. They've got one tippy toe in that last 16 already, but a result against Scotland, I think a draw or more should just about do it, which means they could take their foot off the gas against the Germans. But I think if they were to get that one or more points against the Scots, we might see the Swiss try and win the group, because realistically, a win of this group will probably mean you will avoid England in the second round. That's right. So I guess remind ourselves of the Swiss players, of course. Kawano Dua got the goal, one of the goals last time around. Of course, we've got some familiar faces like Shaqiri, Fabian Schär, Elverdi as well, and Jan Sommer between the sticks. What about my lineup then? Well, it's going to be pretty much what I hope to see from the previous game. It is this. We're going to go with a back 3 with Sommer, Elverdi, Akanji, Schär, Freuler, Zakaria, Xhaka, Widmer, Shaqiri, Okafor, and Vargas. But I think Dua might get the nod because of that goal. But Mbolo also scored from the bench as well. So, decisions need to be made. Let's take a look then at the game itself. It does take place at the Köln Stadium. Of course, coming at you on the 19th of June. That's right, Scotland against the Swiss. They have played each other 6 times, according to my data. 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Scotland on 33% form for them at the moment. with just one win in the last 6 matches, up against the Swiss with just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're on 67% form for them as well. The most recent match was a 3-1 win for Switzerland. That was back in March 2006. It's still knocking on 20 years since these two sides played against each other. Scotland's last victory was back in June 1996. So take from that from what you will. A quick look then, shall we, at the bookies odds for this game. Of course, currently right here, right now, 3-1 is your Scotland, 2017 on is your Switzerland, and 11-4 is the draw. The bookies are going with that recent performances from both of these two sides. Scotland not so much in that last game. The Swiss look very good against Hungary as well. The public vote has also backed Switzerland here. 78% of the vote have gone with Switzerland. Scotland got 15%, and the draw is just at 7. That's right. But what about me then? Focus does switch to me, of course. I am, of course, half Scottish, and I know the importance of this game, the significance of this game. Scotland need to get something out of this, realistically, if they're going to challenge for a last 16 berth. I know they could win that last game against Hungary, and that's probably their best hope. But if they were to squeeze a point, play some defensive football, park the bus football, or even nick a 1-0 win, then they would do themselves the world of good. But it is a tricky scenario we find ourselves in. I think the Swiss go under the radar a lot especially when it comes to these kind of tournaments. They are such a small nation, but they're in a right central hubbub of Europe. They've got Italy on the border, Germany on the border, they have French on the border. They've got all these bleeding lines, if you know what I mean. They're feeding into the Switzerland culture, and they do have a good crop of players at the moment. And I do think the Swiss right now are going to win this game 2-1. But I would love to see a 1-1 draw or a point in the bag for the Scots. But realistically, my mind says otherwise. So I'm going to go with my head other than my heart. The Swiss will come on top with a 2-1 win, and they'll put themselves into the last 16 with 2 wins, 6 points, and maybe even challenge Germany for top spot. That's my take on it, guys. Be sure to smash your like. 50 likes for the video if we can. Subscribe if you can as well. Until then, we are donezo right now.